So the other day I went and saw The Strangers Chapter 2, and this is my review of the movie. And The Strangers Chapter 2 picks up immediately after Maya miraculously survives the home invasion massacre that claimed her boyfriend's life. I think her boyfriend's name was Ryan. And she wakes up at an Oregon hospital where she's still critically wounded, and she realizes the masked trio Scarecrow, Dollface, and Pinup Girl have tracked her there. With the power cut, exits locked, and hospital staff mysteriously vanished, Maya must sprint through darkened corridors, evade deadly set pieces in a morgue and a horse stable, then flee into a storm in an unfamiliar town in hopes of rescue. Every potential ally, from the local sheriff to kindly nurses and strangers in the woods, becomes suspects to her. And each attempt at escape only widens the body count as the killers close in. Echoing the 2008 original, the film highlights violence without motive. The strangers kill because you're here, reinforcing that terror that can be random and meaningless rather than driven by revenge or ideology. Maya's relentless fight and flight becomes an internal war against PTSD and survivor's guilt, with every shadow and stranger awakening a new layer of psychological dread. Flashbacks try to map childhood triggers of the strangers, but ironically strip away the franchise's trademark mystery by offering forced origins for killers who were once unknowable, and I feel like it just takes away from that whole aspect that made this franchise what it was. Subtle religious fanatic imagery and whispered cult references suggest Venus, Oregon may harbor a deeper web of complicity, an avenue set to pay off in the finale in Chapter 3. Madeline Petch grounds the film with a visceral, almost wordless embodiment of raw terror. Wounded, delirious, and driven by pure willpower, she transforms Maya into a portrait of endurance, selling every heartbeat, thudding sprint, and desperate grimace with physical authenticity. Gabriel Basso's Gregory offers a tense counterweight to Maya, in equal parts helpful and menacing, though his impact is muted and he has limited screen time, which is disappointing because I like him as an actor, and they did use him in the trailer a few times, so I felt like it was a little misleading because he didn't have that big of a role in this movie at all, and it just felt like his moments were also underwritten. Renny Harlin stretches minimal dialogue into tight, dialogue-free chase sequences, expertly leveraging claustrophobic hospital wings, shadowy woods, and silent barns for jolt-producing scares. His staging of surgical lamp-lit chases and rainy night ambushes shows he still commands atmosphere over exposition. The near 90-minute runtime drags as it just recycles the cat and mouse sequences with Maya running around. Killers appear, tension builds without any fresh twists. A pulsating opening and a claustrophobic midsection give way to the dull moments before the finale, sacrificing narrative momentum for extended set pieces. Attempts at psychological grounding with flashbacks for the killers feel inconsistent next to the killer's lore of there being no motive. And I think the one thing that kept me invested was that everybody's a suspect feeling, where you just also don't know who around Maya you can trust, or like who you think are the strangers and who's a red herring. Like, it was just hard for me to tell. I think that's